Okay, let's look at the cemetery. Ooh!
A shabby-looking coffin lay unceremoniously on the rickety table. A rusty tin can sat on the ground. Its label read, Bloom's Canned Beef, family-sized. Appetizing. The tin was full of nothing but holes.
Damn. I was hoping nails.
An antique stove burned quietly in the corner of the tumble-down shack. I didn't need to warm my hands on the stove. It was already a humid night, and the fire was more useful at keeping bugs away from the shack than keeping anyone toasty. The coffin lid had been nailed down securely. I wasn't going to be able to open it. A coffin sat upon a rickety-looking table with one leg shorter than the others. With the jack removed, the table rocked freely.
Nice. Okay, no idea what that's gonna do, but I'm here
The
for it.
graveyard was dotted with headstones. Some old, some young, some legible, some not.
So you're around the middle cemetery.
I scanned the headstones for anything of note, but didn't know what I was searching for. Hello?
Yeah! God darn it! Don't sneak up on people like that! You frighten the dying daylights out of me.
He looked at me like he'd seen a ghost. Sorry, you seem a little jumpy.
I thought you were that pesky little girl again.
A little girl? That doesn't seem like a reason to be scared.
She's a terror! One of these days she's gonna give me a heart attack. Last week, she showed up with a doctor's note she'd forged, saying a man I'd buried that day was just a very deep sleeper. 7 hours I was out here digging him back up, at my age.
And was he sleeping?
Dead as a dodo. Just like that little girl will be if I get my hands on her. Who are you, anyway?
My name's Murphy McCallan. I've just arrived on the island.
Well, welcome, Mr. Murphy. I'm Edgar Kettle. Gravedigger, undertaker, coffin maker, and anything else that needs doing to keep this cemetery running.
I'm looking for the treasure of Bellemore Manor.
Oh, a treasure hunter. Well, let me tell you something, young man. Don't even think about digging up my graveyard. There's no treasure buried here, and I'm already busy enough filling in the holes that are supposed to be here.
Chill. I'm not planning to. Don't give yourself a heart attack, man.
Do you know anything about the disappearance at Bellemore Manor?
I think it's important to let the dead rest in peace.
But what if they're not in peace?
Well, you got me there. Listen, I think there's more to that story than meets the eye. You know the three brothers went missing, right? Well, if you ask me, I think Abigail Bellemore was behind it. She was engaged to a sailor, but nobody like her would go for a commoner.
She might have loved him.
She could have loved somebody with a big bank account, too. I think she must have been using him, pretending to love him so he'd do her dirty work for her, bumping off her brothers. Then afterwards, she drops him and goes to marry the officer of the company. Fiendish.
Do you have any proof?
Yeah, just a feeling, that's all. But when you work with cadavers, you kinda get a sixth sense about things.
What do you think was behind the disappearance?
Well, the sailor must have found out he was being manipulated, right? Done something to get his revenge.
What do you think he did?
Nobody knows. He could have been working his way through those bodies like a madman. All we know is that everyone in that house disappeared. To tell you the truth, I'm quite relieved they did.
Why's that?
Because if they hadn't disappeared, it would have been this old fool who had to bury him. Saved me a lot of work.
Yeah, but that would have been over 30 years ago. You would have been much younger back then.
Did you make this coffin?
I sure did. But this is no more than a pauper's coffin by anyone's standards. The finest the parish pension can buy. Lock them in lumber, leave them to slumber, that's what I say. This'll end up 5 feet under by the end of the night.
I thought it was supposed to be 6 feet.
You're not the one doing the digging. 5 feet means I get a tea break.
Have you got any spare coffin nails?
No, I don't have any to spare. I've got a backlog of bodies begging for burial. But does the parish increase my funding? Nope. The roof's leaking, my table's broken. I've used floorboards to build some of the coffins. Take my advice. Don't go into this line of work. Undertaking is a dying business.
Do you think I could fit inside the coffin?
Probably not. The gentleman inside might make it a bit of a squeeze.
You mean there's a dead guy inside there?
There better be. I can't afford to be burying empty coffins.
Was the little girl named Mallory Wisp by any chance?
That's her. The peril in a pinafore. She got the whole town thinking I was burying people prematurely. I walked past the school the other day, and they'd made up a jump rope chant about me.
Ooh, what's the jump rope chant?
What was the chant the school children made up about you?
Edgar, Edgar, crazy feller, just be careful he don't get you. How many bodies did he strive to bury while they're still alive?
1, 2, 3, 4.
I wasn't looking for audience participation.
Sorry, I got carried away. Just like you with the burying. Have you ever accidentally buried someone who was still alive?
Has someone been making accusations again?
No, just making conversation.
Well, not that I know of. When you think about it, how would I know?
Shouts for help, desperate shaking of the coffin.
Look, I haven't sealed anyone up who was chatting with me, let's put it that way. I usually check for signs of life, but everyone takes shortcuts sometimes, don't they? I deserve some rest in peace, too.
Actually, there's an easy test you can do. You just have to poke the skin somewhere. If they're still alive and the heart is beating, blood should flow. If their heart is not beating anymore, blood doesn't flow. Like maybe you get a drop, but no significant blood flow. And then of course there's the checking for breath, checking for a pulse. Like you can do all of that.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Hopefully not the guy in the coffin.
Not funny.
A little funny.
I best be running along.
Don't drop dead. I don't want anything else on my to-do list.
Okay, I need coffin nail somehow.
I didn't think he'd be interested in that.
Why not? It's worth a lot.
I didn't think he'd be happy knowing I'd taken his screwjack.
Well, he doesn't have to know it's his.
I didn't need to show him that.
Okay. Can I give you a penny for a couple nails?
I didn't need...
Alright, let's look around some more then. It's okay, the graves again. Ooh, what's this?
Embedded into the stony hillside was a large, intricately carved crypt with a decorative geometric pattern on its stone doors. I couldn't see any way to open the crypt door. Not a doorknob, not a keyhole. Whoever sealed this up intended to seal it up for good.
Hurry up with the barrels, Morris. We gotta get these unloaded before anyone sees us.
Are you sure this is a good idea, Musket? I don't think we should be using a church as our hiding place.
You're not being paid to think, Morris. You carry those barrels in here and let me worry about the theological implications. This place has been abandoned for decades. There's nobody around.
Nobody living, maybe. What if there's ghosts, boss?
Darn it, Morris. If brains was dynamite, you wouldn't have enough to blow your nose. Now get unloading. And keep an eye out for anyone snooping around.
What if someone catches us?
If anyone asks, we're the new clergy. We tell them these barrels are full of communion wine.
I thought we was rum runners. not wine runners, boss.
Communion rum den.
Ah, gotcha.
Remember, St. Juniper's Church is a place to get closer to God. And if anyone questions our alibi, we make sure that happens.
The pair of rum runners looked like the human personifications of the dish and the spoon from Hey Diddle Diddle, the gangly spoon bossing around the rotund dish as it carried barrels effortlessly from the jalopy and into the church. As it turned out, nursery rhyme characters become a lot more intimidating once they have revolvers.
Can I block the church door somehow?
That wasn't going to work. That didn't work. I needed to. I couldn't do that. Nope.
The fish? The penny?
That wasn't going to work. That wasn't going to work.
Just trying everything, yeah.
That didn't work. I did. No. A pile of barrels rested precariously in the jalopy. It didn't take a detective to realize that these contained illicit alcohol that would have been jumped on by the or a frat house. The barrels were far too heavy for me to lift, though that gorilla of a rum runner had been picking them up like they were cotton balls. An old jalopy was parked up outside the church, its flatbed filled with barrels. An old jalopy. The jalopy door was locked. How ironic that the rum runners would take care not to be the target of criminality. If the rum runners caught me breaking into their getaway car, I'd end up bundled up inside one of their barrels. Besides, from what I could see through the window, there was nothing worth taking.
Actually, I wanted to destroy the tires. How
I
about
didn't need
that?
to do any mechanical work on the jalopy. The noise of smashing barrels definitely would have alerted the rum runners. I would need to be less heavy-handed. I didn't need...
Less heavy-handed.
I didn't...
Okay, how to open the barrel? Less
didn't need-
heavy-handed.
I needed...
Okay, but that's why I'm getting the rum, so not the club.
Hello, Edgar.
Yeah,
Do you know there are a couple of gentlemen up by the church?
rum runners they are. Dealing with them is not in my job description. As long as they don't mix up the stiffs I'm burying with the stiff drinks they're smuggling, I'm keeping my nose out. Curiosity killed the cat, you know, and I really miss Mittens.
I best be running along.
Goodbye.
The stove was all... That didn't work.
Alright. We'll have to figure something out with that. The mill, eh?
It was a ramshackle chicken coop with infrequent clucks emanating from within. Cluck, cluck, buck, 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 cluck. I tried to persuade the chicken to come outside, but clearly I was out of cluck. A pile of rotting wood lay at the side of the path. The wood was old and rotting. It wasn't going to be of any use. And who knew what critters might have made their homes inside the pile? The mill incorporated a wooden water wheel that turned in the current of the water channel, presumably driving some kind of gear inside. Despite its obvious age, the water wheel was still turning. I couldn't get near it, and that was probably a good thing if I didn't want to get dragged under by the current. The inside of the lumber mill smelled like sawdust and grease. Judging from the overgrown weeds, it clearly hadn't been used in a long time. and yet the lights remained on.
Curious. Ooh,
I
look
picked
at
up
that.
the auger from the tool shelf. In the middle of the room was a large sawmill. The conveyor belt would have carried logs up to the blade, cutting them in two. I looked over the machine, but I couldn't find a way to turn it on, if it even still worked. I didn't want to touch it. I hadn't seen something with that many scary-looking teeth since Old Lady Malloy's German Shepherd got loose on my 10th birthday. A series of hatches ran along the back wall of the mill. The hatches were locked. From their shape, I deduced they were for storing lumber, and I wasn't in need of any 2x4s.
But hey, let's trade some. Maybe we get some nails from the Undertaker.
On the wall hung old saw blades, undisturbed since the mill was last in operation. The saw blades were rusted, dull, and would surely have precipitated the need for a tetanus shot. A large round beam rotated slowly in the center of the room. The beam looked to be driven by the water wheel outside. From the multitude of wires fanning out from the top, it was presumably hooked up to a generator. The door had no indication of what lay on the other side. I guessed it might be an office.
Let's check if the door is open then.
I tried the door, but it was locked. I couldn't break my way through the door. It was peculiarly reinforced for a lumber mill.
Unfortunate.
Lubricating the beam so it rotated smoothly was a thick glob of grease. If I touched the grease with my bare hands, I'd be spending hours trying to wash it off. I needed to think of something else. Nope.
Do we need to grease something?
That didn't work. Nope. That wasn't going to work. I needed to think of something else.
Okay, guess not. But let's try and get some rum.
Using the auger, I drilled a small hole in the barrel, and out poured rum. I poured out the water, then began to fill the bottle with the rum pouring from the barrel. Relief washed over me at the realization that I'd done it without getting caught by the two rum runners.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Musket! There's someone out here!
Or so I thought.
Hey, fella, what do you think you're doing snooping around here? This is our church, you know, and it's closed.
I'm with the Prohibition Bureau. We've got this place surrounded.
Officer Moe's 10 feet underwater wearing cement shoes. We made sure of it.
He's being a wise guy, Musket.
Time to fill him full of lead.
But boss, it's bad luck to bump someone off in a churchyard.
Now, where'd you hear a nonsensical thing like that?
I thought churches was hallowed ground, where sin and immorality would face supernatural punishment in this world or the next.
Where do you get this stuff from? I told you, I do the thinking in this partnership.
Okay, nice. Got the rum, let's go somewhere else. Go back to the manor.
It was a soda bottle that I'd filled up with rum. I poured the rum into the gree-gree.
And the bottle's empty again. Nice.
A dying tree stood next to the balcony, its branches devoid of leaves, its bark flaking.
Okay, we can cut
I
that
didn't
rope.
need to cut that.
Oh, come on. Yeah, okay, the door. Because we don't need to cut
The
the
rope
door, we
was
need to
too
cut the rope.
thick for the scissors to get purchase. I would have been hacking away for hours like a nearsighted lumberjack.
Well, good thing I have a knife then.
The barrel had smashed on the ground, revealing its dark, syrupy sweet contents. Molasses. The molasses was far too thick and gooey to get into the bottle.
Okay, do I have somewhere where I need something like
That wasn't going to
sweet?
work. I needed to...
Okay, I'm guessing I have to do something with the molasses, but I have no idea what yet.
I reached up to the cow skull and dislocated its grisly jaw.
Hey, look, I have some bones.
I placed the jawbone into the gree-gree.
Can I open the garage door?
The doors were firmly locked from the inside.
Yeah, you can go inside. How about you unlock them? Like, you kidding me? How's foolishness treating me? I think pretty good. I have 4 out of 7 ingredients to summon some ghosts. I just need black feathers, chalk, and coffin nails. And then we're one step closer to getting being $13 million richer. How are you doing, Gelf? Yeah, let's see if we can do anything more in the house. Usual grocery trip.
I went to
just down
open the
my bus
door into
home.
Bellemore Manor, but the key was gone. I was sure I'd left it in the lock.
Oh no.
From the ground, I didn't have a clear view through the balcony doors, but that didn't stop me from knowing the dark magic that went on beyond that broken glass.
You realized between your uni and your stop are 5,000 steps. Doing important science. Important.
Nope. A large pond lay in front of the house.
Okay, so the question is, can I open the doors somehow, like in another way? Do I have to go back through the balcony? Or can I find the key somewhere?
The balcony was broken where I'd been thrown out of Abigail's bedroom.
Don't interrupt me when he's talking about large pants. Well, I've heard it before. What's squeaking here, by the way? That's new. That squeaking is new.
A table and chairs sat inside the gazebo, an echo of...
Okay, seriously, what's squeaking here? Nice, that works. What's in there?
I cut into the sack with the knife, revealing it to be full of corn.
Yay!
I took the corn from the sack.
Stop is coming up. And you get off your bus, so you don't miss it. Corn! You know what that means. We go back to the mill and give some to the chickens.
I scattered the corn on the path. Mere seconds later, it attracted the attention of the curious chicken.
Okay, am I getting a white feather and I'm gonna dye it with grease or what?
Now that the chicken was enjoying the fresh air, there was nothing of interest in the chicken coop. It was a ramshackle chicken coop.
Are you sure? Not even a feather?
I was glad nobody had seen that. I may have known how to handle a chicken drumstick, but wrestling the living version was altogether different. Nope. The small chicken I'd lured out of the chicken coop pecked happily at the corn strewn across the trail. I couldn't do... I'd seen cowboys lassoing cattle at the summer rodeo before, but trying to do the same with parcel twine and a chicken would have been ridiculous.
Oh, come on. Be a little adventurous.
I may have needed feathers, but I didn't want to hurt the chicken to get them. That wasn't going to work. If the chicken didn't want me to touch it, perhaps a blast of air could do the trick.
Really? Oh, come on. Okay, so I guess I have feathers. And I guess let's
Grease-soaked
get them
feathers
black.
wouldn't have been of any use to me.
Oh, ink! The ink at the newspaper.
Anything to report?
I'm keeping my eyes open.
I'm not telling you shit, bitch.
Delicately, I dipped the feathers into the canister of ink. When they emerged, they were dyed jet black. I placed the feathers into the gree-gree.
Okay, nice. I haven't seen chalk anywhere. At least I don't remember seeing it anywhere.
With the high tide, the entirety of the causeway was now covered over by water. Only the guideposts peeking above the waves gave any hint of the road below that had brought me to the island.
Oh,
On the tallest tower of the fort was a wrought iron Victorian lighthouse, clearly out of step with the fort's stone architecture. It was like seeing a pair of spectacles on Michelangelo's David. The lighthouse light was off. The plaque read, Fort de Bellemore, no public access. For further information, please contact the lighthouse keeper.
okay. The question is, do we need more there right now?
A coat of arms was carved in stone above the staircase. A stone staircase ascended out of sight. I couldn't get to the staircase while the gate... The metal gate was far too strong to open with the poker. The gate was too well set into the thick stone walls to be dislodged with the screwjack.
We go back to the church. Okay, these guys are still here.
I didn't need to cut that.
Yeah, but maybe remove the nails that are in the
The
coffin
gentleman
already.
inside the coffin was long past needing air holes. I couldn't do that. I thought I'd leave Edgar alone for now. What do you think of this manuscript?
Don't be getting up to any sort of black magic in my cemetery. If any zombies rise up, I'll make sure you fill the holes back in.
Nice.
What do you think of this magazine?
Oh, haunted houses, is it? I heard about a family that couldn't afford to pay their exorcist.
What happened?
The house had to be repossessed.
I thought I'd keep that to myself. I didn't think he'd be interested in that. I thought I'd keep that to myself. I didn't need to show him that. I didn't think he'd be interested in that. I didn't need to show him that. I thought I'd keep that to myself. I didn't want the gravedigger to know I'd take... I thought I'd keep the gentleman inside the coffin. I didn't need to wear the brooch, and obviously its red stone wouldn't suit my jade complexion.
Okay.
I didn't need to... I didn't need to cut that.
Oh! Thread in the table?
I tied the twine to the uneven table and took up a hiding spot behind a nearby wall. It was time to wake the dead.
Oh no.
Hello? Hello? Why is it so dark in here?
Huh? Who's that?
I'm stuck. Help! Help!
Mallory, if that's you again,
Get me out of this thing!
Oh no, not again. Mister, are you okay? I'm so sorry. I was told... Mister? Oh, God darn it! Next time I see that girl, I'm gonna have a peewee-sized coffin all ready for her. A few hours locked in one of those should adjust her sense of humor.
Ah, that discards the nails because they've been used once. Nice. Ooh, and I even get to keep the twine. I like that even more.
I picked up the handful of discarded coffin nails from the tin.
Nice. So all I need is some chalk.
I placed the coffin nails in the gree-gree. It was a crumbling piece of chalk. It was a
Okay, where can I find chalk?
The graveyard was dotted. I scanned the headstones for anything of note, but didn't know what I was searching for. The window looked into the church. I could see the shadows of the rum runners moving around inside the church, but I didn't want to get too close in case they saw me, too. Wandering happily into the hideout of a pair of mobsters wasn't going to be a smart move.
Yeah, but smart is boring, darling. Okay, where could I find chalk?
Welcome back.
Do you have
I
chalk?
had nothing else to ask him. The cabinet was filled with precious jewels, geodes, and fossils next to a small sign that read, "Treasures of the Earth." What do you think of this manuscript?
That looks like exactly the sort of black magic that plagued Captain Crumb. Whew, sends a shudder right through me.
I couldn't do that.
I thought I could maybe sell the magnet for chalk.
The ladder was covered in rust from the salty sea air, barely hanging on to the crumbling masonry. What do you think of this manuscript? I think it's voodoo.
Is this what Moret's having you hunt down?
Does it have any meaning to you?
Well, I know some of those symbols, but the way they're put together, they don't make any sense to me. And I wager they don't make any sense to someone familiar with real voodoo either.
You're saying it's fake?
Why don't you find out when you put in the last ingredient? And if that's what you're doing on this island, maybe I shouldn't be so worried after all.
I decided to leave Ned to his fishing.
I was hoping I could ask him if he knew where I could find chalk.
Of all of the papers pinned to the board, one article stood out to me. It showed the beaming face of a rotund fisherman on the docks with a headline declaring he'd just broken the island's heaviest catch record.
Anything to report?
I'm keeping my eyes open. What do you think of this manuscript I have?
Looks fake to me.
What do you mean? This is a genuine voodoo manuscript, hundreds of years old.
I know my paper. From offsets to cover stock, pulp to parchment. If you can print on it, I know about it. The manuscript may be old, European I'd say, but the ink on it, look at the splatters, the fade. That's within the last century at most. My guess is there used to be something underneath, and it's been covered over.
Is there any way to find out what used to be there?
I don't think so, McAllen. All we can say is that someone did a good job making sure that whatever it was isn't there anymore. Yes?
Hi. I've got a story for you. A big one. There are rum runners at the old church.
Keep your voice down, Motormouth. Do you want us to end up in the obituaries?
I thought you wanted a real scoop for the Gazette.
I do, just not one that gets me on the wrong side of the mob in the process. Pigeon elected mayor, cow does the high jump. Those are the types of stories that get eyes on the front pages.
But I thought journalists had a duty towards truth, justice, and society.
Where'd you get that poppycock idea? My duty is towards the circulation numbers. And while I'd love a shocker of a story, I'd rather not become the story, if you catch my drift.
I think I better be going.
I've got my eye on you, McAllen.
Okay, let me go back to the boat and talk to the voodoo guy. And see if he can give me a hint on where to find chalk, because that's really something I have no idea on. Like, not even the slightest idea.
You've returned. Have you found all the ingredients and placed them in the green?
Not yet, but I'm working on it. I'm going to go and find the...
Rebecca.
Okay, no. I can't look around, I can't ask him for help.
The shack door was too sturdy for me to pry open with the poker, but that still left another way in. With a bit of elbow grease, I levered up the window frame.
Oh!
Pressed against the inside wall was a dusty desk covered in spiderwebs, and to top it, one thing lay undisturbed. A small folded document which I picked up, along with an inadvertent eight-legged companion. Ugh! Ghost stories and haunted treasures I could handle, but spiders gave me the creeps.
Ah, a captain's license. Okay, now I just need a picture. Department of Commerce and Labor, United States, Captain's License. The undersigned inspector for the state of Louisiana certifies that Cornelius Knott, having been by them this date, duly examined, touching his qualification as captain of the steamboat, is a suitable and safe person to be entrusted with the power of duties of captaincy, and license him to act as such for 5 years from this date on. unnavigable waterways of the state of Louisiana. As such, the above name does solemnly swear that he will faithfully and honestly, according to his best skill and judgment, without concealment or reservation, perform all the duties required of him as a captain. By the Act of Congress, approved June 9th, 1910. Given under my hand, this 3rd day of March, 1923, B. Butterworth. Signature of the captain, yeah, I think I just need a new
It
picture.
was a riverboat captain's license belonging to a Captain Knott, but the space for a photograph was empty. It was a river...
Okay.
If I wanted to fill the bottle, it was best to do it with the tide, lest my fingers get nipped by some unseen lurking crab. It was a soda bottle I'd filled up with water.
Yeah, but with seawater, that's a difference.
That wasn't going to work. The fish's ability to swim away was crucially hampered by the fact that it was taxidermied. Nope,
Penny in the pool? Okay,
that
no.
didn't work.
Now make a wish with the penny? Oh, wait. Wasn't there a well in the cemetery? No, right? That's not a well. Just crypts. Ah, sorry. Did I see a well somewhere? Like, what else am I going to do with the penny?
Anything to report?
I'm keeping my eyes open. Could you take my photograph for this captain's license?
What do you think this is, a boudoir studio? Would you like a feather boa and a pair of high heels for your session? Don't waste my time. I only take photographs of people who are newsworthy.
I didn't need to show her that.
How could I become newsworthy?
I thought I'd keep that to myself.
Yes?
Hi. Would you take my photograph?
Do you know how much the chemicals cost to develop those photographs? I'm on a limited budget here, McAllen. Unless you've done something notable, you're not getting into print.
I think I better be going.
I've got my eye on you, McAllen.
Okay, what could I do that's newsworthy? Oh! Catch the biggest fish!
I didn't need to...
Okay, what do I stuff the fish with to boost its
That
weight?
didn't work.
Or is the stuffed fish already, like, heavy enough?
I hung the fish on the scales.
You caught a pingoza. They're the most delicious fish around here. especially grilled. But you'll never beat Squib's record.
Squib?
Jebediah Squibb, the Cajun catcher he calls himself. Last week at the Dead of the Docks, Squibb caught the heaviest pinco's on record. Got his photograph on the front page of the newspaper and everything. Now how am I gonna rest while he brags and boasts about it every single night?
With its innards made of cotton and material scraps, the fish's weight was distinctly unimpressive.
Okay, how do I stuff that fish?
Nope. I couldn't do that. I needed to think of something else. That didn't work. With the ripped seam as an opening, I placed the horseshoe inside the taxidermy fish. Now it was heavy.
Ha ha!
Mac, does that say what I think it does? You been holding back on me. That breaks Squibb's record.
McAllen! How does it feel to have decimated the town record in your first few hours on the island?
How did you hear about this so fast?
It's my job to know about things fast. Now, I'm asking the questions here. Where'd you get the fish, McAllen?
Well, it was a mighty battle on the southern coast. Its fins strong as a motor, its mouth as fierce as a tiger's. I paused dramatically to allow my fishing prowess to wash over them.
What rod did you use?
Wooden one?
I mean, what make?
You know, I didn't use a rod.
You caught the fish without a rod?
With my bare
It was
hands,
more
like a
one-on-one.
man.
Mono, fisho?
You wrestled a fish?
And
Hell
I won.
yeah.
Well, as much as it pains me to say it, you're the cover story in the next edition of the Juniper Parish Gazette. And this is why I'm not getting a Pulitzer.
I've got to hand it to you, Mac. That fish is a whopper. I don't know how you got it, but as long as he keeps Squib quiet at the porch party tomorrow, I ain't complaining.
Murphy! Have you seen the cover of the evening edition? I think we caught your personality perfectly in that photograph. Naive, simple, unsophisticated. Makes it all the
Oh,
more
thank
surprising
you.
that you actually accomplished something.
I wonder if I should have it framed.
That'll cost you. Hey, those cost money, you know.
But it has my photograph on it.
The Do Not Serve board down at Spinelli's bar has my photograph on it, but that doesn't mean I can just pick it up and walk out with it, does it?
I'd like to buy a newspaper.
Finally, I get something out of you loitering in here. That'll be 1 cent, please.
That's what we do. Nice.
I picked up the newspaper. The fewer people that saw it, the better.
Island newcomer breaks fishing record.
The headline read, "Island Newcomer Breaks Fishing Record," with my photograph printed in black and white. The headline...
Okay, nice. Now, scissors.
Carefully,
Cut that
I
off.
cut my photograph out of the newspaper.
Hee hee.
It was the photograph of myself I'd cut out of the newspaper. I wish I'd posed better. I was going to need something adhesive.
Like molasses.
I touched the back of the photograph to the molasses. Thanks to the stickiness of the molasses, the photograph adhered nicely to the captain's license.
And that's how I became a captain.
My credentials.
You're telling me you are a captain?
I trust it's all in order.
I thought you said your name was Murphy McCallan.
That's right.
Then why does this say Captain Knott?
It's a pseudonym for marketing purposes. You've got to stand out nowadays. A cool name's a good way to do that. You didn't think Captain Hook was called Hook before the hand incident, did you? What would the odds of that have been?
Look, Sonny, the bylaws of this club only allow the club manager to verify a captain's license. And Mr. Perkins is enjoying his backgammon soiree with Mrs. Perkins and the ladies this evening, with strict instructions not to be disturbed. So I'll accept this for tonight, but try this again tomorrow night and it'll be another story. Now, with that said, a warm and hearty welcome to the Captain's Club. We sincerely hope you make use of and enjoy our facilities, and do please let me know if I can be of any assistance at all. We don't open for another hour, but if you'd like, you can head up now to acquaint yourself.
Yes, please. Yes, chalk!
I picked up the cube of billiard chalk from the edge of the table. I placed the chalk into the gree-gree. I'd done it. All 7 ingredients for the summoning spell. Now I needed to head back to the Spirit Queen.
Victory! Let's go there. Immediately. Don't even look around here. I want to summon ghosts so bad. Oh no! Not she again.
I thought I'd find you out here, McCallan.
Evelyn, lovely to see you out in the bayou again.
This will be the last time, McCallan, I'm not your secretary. I don't know what you're up to out here, but I'll figure it out soon enough. But for now, let's hurry it up. These shoes are alligator skin, and I don't want the local fauna recognizing an old friend. Another telegram came through for you, marked urgent. Kip said you might be out here.
My boss again?
Got it in one.
McCallan, report back immediately. Received word Grimes is deceased. Lack of resources has made this a waste of time. And I've cottoned onto your little stunt with the Friday signatures. When you get back here, sorting mail is gonna be the least of your worries. Sid Sinclair, Sinclair Auditing Company.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. On a night when I'd just seen a ghost, this telegram was almost more unbelievable. There was more to the Bellemore story than I could have ever imagined. Now I was being pulled away to a job I didn't want to work, and a life I didn't want to live. Maybe it was time to do something a little foolish. Do I still have that prepaid reply?
Sure do. What do you want it to say?
Tell him I quit. I couldn't believe what I'd done. I'd quit my job and opened the first chapter in my own adventure. But without a job, I didn't have a salary. Without a salary, I wouldn't have a place to live. And it suddenly became more important than ever that I find that treasure. For me this time.
Nice.
Murphy, have you found all 7 ingredients?
I have.
Wonderful! Now it is time for the final step. Out of the darkness, the sadness, the fear, I command you, my servant, now to appear.
I have returned, Master. What is your desire?
The ingredients have been gathered. The final step of the spell is ready. The focus.
The focus of the spell is whatever you are casting it upon. Bellemore Manor is where the ghosts reside. An image of Bellemore Manor is what you must use to direct the spell.
Murphy, do you have an image of Bellemore Manor we can use?
Yeah, the magazine.
Yes, Murphy, that will work. Place it inside the gree-gree as the final ingredient.
Okay.
I folded the magazine cover and placed it inside the gree-gree.
The spell is ready. Finally, the ghosts will be free again. Open the gree-gree, Murphy, and that will cast the spell.
With some trepidation, I took the gree-gree from my pocket, and with a deep breath, opened it.
Nice.
Last, I am free.
Servant, what's happening?
I was never your servant.
I am your master. You shall do my bidding. I command you.
Foolish mortal. You have served your purpose. No longer do I need to manifest as an ephemeral specter. Now my true spirit form is freed.
Loa, do as I say.
You are of no more use to me.
Oh! I'm in danger.
I wasn't sure what I'd just seen, but the voodoo fire raging all around me was all too real. I needed to get out, and fast. In the center of the room was a huge stone pool filled with swirling green water. Gazing into the spirit pool, I thought I could see formless faces gazing back at me.
Well, thank God I filled the bottle with water. Otherwise I would be fucked. Hey, Abigail. Oh, not again. There's alligators out there. Oh! Okay. Part 2, the love antidote.
As I opened my eyes, I realized I had no idea where I was.
All right, all you Bellemore Manor ghosts and ghouls, let's take it to a place where voodoo rules. Foolish mortal, do you know what you've done? A house of spirits, but we know of one with evil intentions, and now no preventions to harm their evil scheme. You're now implicated in this complicated supernatural dream. You cast the spell, now the deed is done. Evil's free, the plan has just begun. Without your detection, we'll have no protection from the Machiavellian game. You set them loose, so you have to deduce who is ill and who is to blame. And self-detested, we'll ask you questions 3. Draw clues to solve the mystery. The lover, the poor, the devil of God. Questions surrounded in doubt. The officer, bride, the sailor, or guide, Murphy. Can you figure it out? Can you figure it out? The broken heart stolen by another. Tell us now who is the lover.
Oh, to the sailor.
I think the sailor was the lover.
Someone in love, and their love is true. Is it return? What is there to do? They're caught in the middle of baffling riddles. Is love what can carry them through? A sunset life, no chance for dawn. Tell us now who is the one.
I think the bride was the pawn.
A bride in love, but in some evil curse, immersed in voodoo and things perverse. She cannot protest, and her mind's not possessed of things that will only get worse. Wicked spirits in evil rebel, tell us now who is the devil.
I think the officer was the devil.
A phantom figure who's now in control. Black magic powers got things he stole. But maybe a setback, but he's gonna get back, and we'll worry that cause now let's go. Maybe you listened and now you've done it. You took a gamble and you have won it.
Ah, that was easy.
And I say let's farewell, and an officer pulling the strings. A hostage filled with voodoo, and yes we know like you do. To fix it, we'll take some strange things. To test it, we ask you questions 3. You draw clues and solve the mystery. The officer, bride, and the sailor all died. Questions surrounded in doubt. The lover, the pawn, the devil are gone. Murphy, you figured it out. And there's too much. The foolish boss, blind treasures trapped in hidden vaults. You may think you are done, but it's all just begun. It's time for the ghostly debut. So say trick or treat, 'cause there's a goal to defeat. And Murphy, we hope that you do. Or guess what? You'll have to lie have to die too.
Nice.
I was back in Bellemore Manor, and although it was better than being dead, I didn't know what was awaiting me.
What if the song would have changed if chosen different? I'm pretty sure, yeah. I mean, I guess it would have been a version that told you, yeah, you answered wrong. And then maybe give you a hint, like one answered wrong, or two, I mean, at least 2 would have to be wrong if you mix 2 up. But yeah, again, that wasn't super hard, at least not for me. Very straightforward. But hey, we got it. And we started part 2. And I think that's where I'm gonna end it today, if I can... Oh no.
Who wanders to this ghostly trick? The prey that prays it will be quick. Do not blame that final try, for once he's in, he's sure to die.
Another ghost? Oh, this can't be good.
Welcome back to Bellemore Manor, Mr. McCallan. My name is Cordelia Lockett. I do hope I haven't scared you.
To be honest, I've had my fill of ghosts for today. Perhaps I should be running along.
I'm afraid you'll need to come with me. There is someone you need to meet.
Who?
Miss Bellemore.
You know, I don't think that would be such a great idea. We met twice already this evening, and I don't think she's taken much of a liking to me. What with throwing me off a balcony and pulling me into a spirit pool. Attempt to kill me once? Shame on you. Attempt to kill me twice? Shame on me, you know? I'll just go. It'll be like I was never here.
It's too late for that, Mr. McCallan. I really must insist.
What have I gotten myself into?
Miss Bellemore, Mr. McCallan is here to see you.
I don't see anyone.
And I wanted to stop for today. Damn it.
I'm terribly sorry, Miss Bellemore. I wasn't trying to steal from you. I didn't know anybody was still here. And then I've gotten deeper into things than I expected, and... Miss Bellemore? Why isn't she saying anything? Why is she crying?
This is all terribly exciting, isn't it? I'm afraid there's much more to this than you realise, Mr. McAllen.
Can she even hear me?
I don't think so, but keep trying to talk to her anyway.
What happened to her?
I can tell you all that I know, if you're brave enough to hear it.
I hope I am.
I was there on that night, all those years ago. And it wasn't Miss Bellemore who was to blame. The morning of the wedding, Mr. Rackham left a gift on Miss Bellemore's dresser. A small leather pouch with strange beads and strange markings. I shouldn't have been looking, but I saw her open it. It was black magic. Everyone had heard the rumours about Mr. Rackham, but I saw it with my own eyes. Miss Bellemore panicked. She threw the pouch into her music box, slammed down the lid to lock it, and threw the brooch into the fireplace. But it was too late. She was losing herself. I could see it in her eyes. Minutes later, she asked me to bring her fiancé to her room. It's bad luck to see the groom before the ceremony. She told him she didn't love him, but I don't think it was her speaking. He begged, he pleaded, his heart broke in two. He was devastated. I saw him head up the staircase to the balcony overlooking the garden. But oh dear, I didn't know what he was going to do.
He hung himself.
That evening, her wedding to that evil Mr. Rackham began, but it didn't go the way he had planned. Just before Miss Bellemore's lips formed the words, "I do," I could see the forces battling inside her. The real love within her resisting the forged compulsion of Mr. Rackham's curse, staring into eyes that were not those of her true love. And that battle of good and evil exploded. Just like that, everyone in the house was gone, trapping us as ghosts to remain here forever. For more than 30 years she's been like this, her mind trapped in an eternal battle between the true love in her heart and the evil magic trying to control her. More than 30 years of never-ending heartbreak. And while Miss Bellemore is trapped in torment, do you realise what you've done? You've summoned all the ghosts in the house, including Mr. Rackham, that manipulator, that occultist, that devil, the cause of Miss Bellemore's suffering. He's once again free to pursue his evil deeds because you released him.
Whoopsie daisy. Okay, I guess I have to go through that dialogue and then I can stop the game.
If Abigail is under a spell, how is she able to attempt to kill me twice?
Well, it's never happened before. Maybe she's losing the fight against Mr. Rackham's curse, and the evil inside her is growing more powerful. Oh dear, it's almost too terrible to think about, isn't it?
Why is Rackham doing all this? What does he want?
He's after the same thing you are, the Bellemore treasure. But he's willing to do a lot more to get it, and he doesn't care who gets hurt in the process. I'd say he's a lot more committed than you are.
He's also dead. What does he want to do with a treasure?
I have to do something. How can we stop him?
I'm afraid I don't rightly know, but Miss Bellemore might. She managed to break out of the spell once, just at the moment of the explosion, when Mr. Rackham tried to carry out the wedding. Perhaps if you take her back to that moment, she might be able to break out of it again. To do that, you'll need to create a love antidote to Mr. Rackham's curse.
How can I create a love antidote?
Look in the mirror. In this reflection, she's as happy as she was on the morning of her wedding. And look, there in front of her, 4 wedding mementos and the echoed music of the wedding march, each one a touchstone of that final happy time. If you could gather those 5 things, perhaps we might bring her back to the moment she escaped the spell, even if just for a moment. There's something else you should know. Mrs. Craddock, the housekeeper, has announced that all wedding preparations are to resume upon the orders of Mr. Rackham. He plans to repeat the wedding tonight. You don't have long.
But what if I break her out of the spell and she is evil now?
I think you'll just have to take that risk.
Maybe I should go. Try to find someone who knows more about this.
Oh, don't you know? You're just as trapped within this house as any of us ghosts. Try the windows, try the doors. We all have 1,000 times. But it's no use. If you want to escape, she's your only hope.
That can't be true. I haven't died. I can't be trapped here forever like you.
In moonlight's glow, a spectral cell, and whispers of an eerie spell. No one hears his silent shout, for once he's in, he can't get out.
No amount of force or technique or desperate longing would open the door. Cordelia was right. I was trapped. And as I looked around at the house that held me, I felt both dead and alive at the same time. Both awake and in a dream, or a nightmare. The only way I could possibly free myself was to gather the 5 items to awaken the Ghost Bride, perhaps giving her a third and final opportunity to kill me.
Well, all good things come in threes. But yeah, I'm afraid we'll have to end it here and continue next time, whenever that will be.